Good morning, Spikelings. I'm your one and only friend, the hope of spring during a seemingly endless winter, and welcome to my Shark Typhoon. My goal today is to fill you with all that warm, fuzzy feeling piles of MTGO Modern League trophies can provide. I think the best way to do so is Kiki-Jiki friends. So enjoy all the happiness that spending time with me brings you, and keep spreading joy with like, comment, scare, blah blah blah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it sounds a lot better from when I was testing. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, about half an hour, house. Okay, so this is a deck I've been working on for like a week or two or something like that, and I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to get it to a level ready for the stream. I can't remember exactly how it looked like when I showed it. I showed like just the list on stream last week a little bit and how I was stuck on it. But there were a lot of ideas I liked here, so let me go ahead and talk about what I think is interesting and what I'm liking. So this is a deck that is kind of similar to the 8-key combo deck in the sense that it's using the Dice Factory package of Power Conduit, Coretapper. We have one Surge Node to get off Saga to use to put charge counters on your Astral Cornucopia. But instead of also playing Everflowing Chalice, although we are playing one Everflowing Chalice as a Saga target, but it's just a Saga target. We're not like as in on it. We're choosing to have our other mana battery be Aether Vial, where we can just put counters on our Aether Vial and we can power out our creatures quickly. And what's kind of very interesting to me about this package is that I think it plays really well with specifically the Kiki-Jiki combo, where you have Corridor Monitor as like your new Deceiver Exarch, which is a 2-mana artifact creature, and this card just plays so interestingly in the deck, where you can have like Aether Vial on 2, Vial and Coretapper, untap your Aether Vial, Vial and a Spellskite to protect your combo. Or on turn with 2 counters on your Vial, you can go Vial and Core Monitor, untap your Aether Vial, Vial and a Coretapper, which you can then untap. Or you can even just like immediately sack the Coretapper to put counters on the Vial, or you can untap and tap and put a counter on something. But then the next turn you'll have 5 counters to Vial and the Kiki-Jiki. And then you also have access to Imperial Recruiter, which really ties the room together in a big way. Where you can like Vial and Recruiter get Kiki-Jiki, Kiki-Jiki copy Recruiter get Corridor Monitor, or a lot of different combinations of that. And in my testing, Aether Vial is just like a really ridiculous card. You're powering out your 3, 4, 5 mana creatures really, really quickly in a way that makes it hard for your opponent to like keep up with you. And so as far as like the rest of the deck goes, things I was really like stuck on was like the number of Everflowing Chalice to play, the number of Surge Node to play. I think I was playing like 3 Chalices, 4 Surge Nodes. I was like, I'm not playing enough creatures. I don't have like enough I don't have like any kind of plan B that's like super cohesive. I had some Seasoned Pyromancers, but I was also like just not super happy with the card Surge Node in general. I do think about 1 copy as a Saga target, but I think I'm just kind of been a little bit happier moving like slightly away from the Dice Factory cards, because like a lot of times if you just have an Aether Vial, that's like you don't need to immediately be putting counters on it. Obviously, like those are your nut draws, but you can play a little bit slower. Is what I'm trying to say. This deck can afford to be a little bit slower than the 8-key combo deck. And then like really the card that just seems kind of so obvious to me in retrospect is Urza Lord High Artificer. It gets tutored by Imperial Recruiter. It's a great card to violin. It's like a really good plan B. It can like, give you a mana sink in the late game for like giant Astral Cornucopias. I just like didn't have Urza in my earlier drafts, which is wild to me. But Urza is like a crazy card in this deck, and I think in a big way really, really is exactly what I needed as like a good plan B, value card, all that good stuff. And I did some more playtesting last night, and I was liking the deck enough to play it on stream, and we're here now. Profit 4 months. Thank you. Welcome back. This is kind of like the first draft that's making it to the stream. I think that there is, more potential here, maybe. Where do you draw the line on decks where I play the stream? I don't have like a formula per se, but I just kind of play. I play them when I feel that they're ready. Very simply. Say it's nuts. Yeah, no basic island. I don't think the double blue on Urza is very hard to hit, but also like your Cornucopia and your Aether Vial kind of fix most of your mana problems. We have a couple of Cascade Bluffs as filter lands too, but we know we're a Kiki-Jiki deck. I want to keep as many red sources as possible. I know that some players are hesitant to leave their home without their emotional support basic island. I'm going to play the Saga on turn 1. My plan with this hand is to go turn 2, Coretapper, counters on Astral Cornucopia, then play Power Conduit, so I can just, you know, do the Power Conduit Urza Saga thing where you keep it around every turn. I actually really like seeing a Mana Confluence with this hand. Yeah, I know the number of colored lands might look low, but it's not, because Cornucopia and Vial are like both big fixers. So I think we're fine. No cards from 1. Yeah, I've played a couple decks now without any cards from 1. You know, we're like a little over a month post-release. We still have some 1 stuff to be doing, but we also have other things in the other irons in the fire. They see the 5-0 Rivals playing 4 remands of the main. I didn't see the list, but I think whoever that was did comment in chat yesterday that they were the one that did that. Which is I don't have a strong feeling. All of this creatures sideboard for Recruiter. Not the Orvars, but most of them, yeah. Dude, I can't remember the last time I realized I was up against Dredge game 1. I'm like, oh, this is good. we do need some draws, although it is possible just an army of Urza Saga tokens is going to win this game. Oh, Hunter, 5 months to think it Tycoon. We can make a Saga token and cast Kiki-Jiki this turn, I think. Maybe we're a little short. No, we should have enough because we can get the key, right? Just get Manifold Key. And then... So this is 7 mana, so I need... Yeah, which is exactly enough to Kiki-Jiki plus make a Saga token plus Coretapper. So let's just do that. Let's just do that. This was actually something I was doing a decent amount last night, just copying construct tokens with Kiki-Jiki, funny enough. But it may end up killing the Kiki-Jiki, but I think that's okay. We have the Manifold Key to give construct unblockable. We have the Power Conduit thing. We don't have a main deck Shadow Spear. I think I'm sideboarding it. Yeah, I am sideboarding it. I had another Saga list. Yeah. Yeah, this deck has some like really, really crazy explosive draws. Hunter with the 5, B Who Is with the 7, thank you. I played decks like that in the past. Did I think about the mages? Yeah, I did at one point have Trinket Mage. I never had Trophy Mage, but I did consider it. I ended up like really not liking Trinket Mage very much. I found that like by the time I was ready to, or at any time I wanted to like use Trinket Mage to get something, it's like it was really bad if I didn't already have any engine going. If that makes sense. It was kind of slow to get the engine going. Where like these like 3-mana creatures are good because you're powering them out with your vials and your cornucopias. So using them as like your tutor targets, I think, is less than optimal. We also win. I guess we were winning without even the corridor monitor, but this is, you know, infinite Kiki-Jikis too. Good start, good start. I'm going to bring in the Welding Jar, the Grafdigger's Cage, the Relic of Progenitus, the Shadow Spear. We are ready for today, huh? The Soulless Jailer. I always have to double check. Does Soulless Jailer do anything here? Always have to double check on that one. So that's 5 cards coming in. Coming out. I think there's a good chance we're trimming on Spyros. I think I want to trim some number of Spellskites also. So let's maybe go down like 2 Spellskites, 3 Seasoned Pyromancers. Recruiter is slow. Recruiter is like the most important card in the deck, or one of the most important cards. I would basically never cut it. It's 1-card combo. Also finds like Soulless Jailer in post board. Well, hard to mulligan this hand. Does Dredge seem like a good deck with Mill becoming more prevalent, or is that matchup not as good as it seems? Well, no deck in Modern plays more Graveyard Hate than Mill does. So I really, that is actually not a matchup I know very much about, but it's my understanding that it is complicated. Jailers for 1. We do have a 1 card. The old turn 1 for power. Thank you, Dredge. Very cool. This is exactly what I was worried about, so I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I know. I know this is not a hand like you're necessarily hoping to keep, but we have a relic against Dredge, so we have to. Yeah, if this was our, you know, in our opening hand, we could maybe have popped the relic here. Is there no better recruiter target to smash artifacts than Plundering Barbarian? So I have like this kind of this dialogue tree a lot. Is there really nothing better than this card here, Spike? This card you're playing. I don't think there is. If I did think that there was, I'd be playing it. So you could maybe tell me. But I looked. You know, it's not. I think that the treasure generation is pretty relevant on it. I think, you know, any other options, you're really splashing a color. You could play Tuk Tuk, but you don't have any other allies. Yeah, I had Shieldbreaker in an earlier draft. I thought that the ETB effect was more relevant with the Aether Vials. I had both for a little bit of time. But yeah, Shieldbreaker is an option. I did have it in an earlier drop option. Can you operate under the assumption that the best cards are being used unless you find a specific one? I wouldn't exactly recommend that, but if you're asking, instead of like asking me, you should be under the assumption that I think I'm playing the best version of this kind of card, right? Because, like, why wouldn't I be thinking that I'm playing the best version of the card? So if you think I'm not, like, you know, you could look for, like, a different version of the card, right? Before asking, maybe? I don't know if that's, you know, asking too much, but... Do you need Draw Stop against Dredge with Relic? Not in this spot, so we would need that if they could Dredge and cast Ox the next turn. Otherwise, you just get to respond to, like, whatever triggers. Otherwise, you're not responding to anything. Ooh, Spellskite's really nice. Yeah, let's just play Spellskite here, which can block the Amalgam, protect my Relic, maybe, and then keep up the Relic activation. I'm currently building Grow Prowess. How do you feel about it? I don't think it's as good as, like, the blue-red base Prowess decks, but it's very fun. I like the mages. Can get Ballista. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like, one problem is, like, Ballista doesn't work with Vial. I think it's a viable way to build the deck, though. Yeah, see, they're still a little bit short of escaping their Ox. So now, I guess I need the Draw Stop, because they'd be able to do that next turn. That's true, you can Vial and Ballista. Wow. My world is flipped. Good morning, Freya. We're just gonna get a corridor monitor with this recruiter. Seems like the play. Weird game. Could get a Coretapper, but... But this also seems like it's gonna be fast enough. Yeah, I considered playing Vannifar, and then I was like, Recruiter's already a Vannifar by itself. And I typically don't like to register Vannifar. Yeah, I could get Coretapper for Cornucopia. I think that this is fine. The 1/4 body is also like... I guess it's not that good against the Dark Blast if they dredge Dark Blast. Okay, I do have to pop the Relic now because they can escape the Ox. We'll see if they've been sandbagging anything. It's honestly hard for them to sandbag because they've dredged so many times. I could Recruiter for, like, Soulless Jailer next turn, maybe. If I draw a Coretapper, do I win? I don't think so. Maybe I do. It's like a Cornucopia on 0, Coretapper 2 counters. Quarter monitor, untap the 2 counters. I don't think it works. I could get another Coretapper right now. I think that makes sense. And then just block with the Coretapper. They have to have double Dark Blast here to kill me. Which we exiled one of the Dark Blasts. So if I play my Corridor Monitor, I'm still kind of soft to double Dark Blast. Oh, no I'm not. I could just block Golgari, go to 1. Is Dredge the uptick? Maybe a little bit. Here's one thing about the modern metagame at the moment. I don't think that a lot of the top decks are changing or have been changing for a long time. This is bad. This puts me dead. Damn it, Creeping Chill. Not much has been changing for a long time as far as the top decks go. The top decks for a long time in Modern have been like Murktide Scam, Hammer Creativity. But also in the Modern metagame, there are like 15 viable decks that like kind of just wax and wane in popularity at seemingly random intervals. Okay, get to be on the play for game 3 is a big deal. Let's maybe trim an Urza for 3rd Spellskite. Fungus, 12 months, thank you. Tough game, tough game. Lucky to win game 1. We kept a pretty slow, mediocre hand, but we had a Relic, you know. What can you do? If I was going to play Jace, would I be playing a number of Jace or Typhoons? Another bad hand that has a Relic. This hand is like really good if we draw land, Aether Vial, Cornucopia, or even our Everflowing Chalice. Very close. I like that we can also keep casting spells. If we cycle the Relic, that's another card. I'm going to keep. I don't know. I haven't thought a ton about blue-white control lately. I do think that the biggest issue with blue-white control is that, like, none of the top-end cards feel amazing. One thing I was kind of thinking about doing is just, like, 4 Deluge, 3 or 4 Shark Typhoon, and that's your top end, no Planeswalkers. I've been really high on like specifically Memory Deluge lately. I don't like that that hurts your ability to play Rest in Peace, but also like you can play Sanctifier a little bit more easily too. Okay. Yeah, the One Ring and the A-Key deck is going to be really exciting. Alright, big draw step. We find the land off the top, baby. Obviously still have some other things we need to draw. I'm going to play the Key this turn. We'll hold up the Relic Sacrifice. I don't think that I want to tap out of the Relic Sacrifice here, but if I don't need to sacrifice it, we can untap the Relic with the Key. Is Urza the strongest card that sees the least amount of play? There's a lot of cards in Modern that are like really strong and don't see a lot of play. Don't feel like we need to pop just for one Creeping Chill here, as much as I do despise Creeping Chill. Would I ever consider playing the Soul Sisters on stream? I'd consider playing it if I thought there was like any new interesting tech to show off, any new ideas, if I thought it was like somewhat competitively viable. But I don't just like to, you know, dust off decks to dust them off either. So they do get a Narcomoeba in play. Other than that, their graveyard's not super helpful at the moment. Drew another land, it's actually really exciting. Feels like a good turn to deploy Spellskite. We could also Recruiter for Soulless Jailer, which only stops them from like flashing back spells. It doesn't seem too crazy. I think I feel okay about just Spellskiting here. Their deck usually doesn't play low anymore, right? Yeah, it is weird that they're casting this now. I think they just want to get some value, but I don't have Relic pop up, maybe. Well, bro, so Muncie, thank you. Sounds very fun, Tommy. Okay, upkeep, kill my Spellskite. Discarding Stinkweed Imp, sure. Dread Stinkweed Imp, hit Amalgam, Thug, Reunion, 2 more Axes. Pretty good for us. 4 cards in their hand. I think one of them is Thug and one of them is Imp. Flame Phoenix, 4 months, thank you. Yeah, I did consider Myconsyth Gardens. I know I'm not playing it right now. The mana requirements are like much harder here than they are in the Iki deck. I did consider it though. I'm gonna die to this Snark Amiibo. Well, I really don't want to leave up no Relic activation. So let's just keep untapping this Relic. Yeah, it's a filter land. It is kind of interesting. We did think about it. Yeah, it still could be correct. Okay, so it should be at least 3 Dredgers. Yeah, I still don't think we need to pop the Relic. I know Twinless would typically play Spell Stutter and Exarch to protect against surgical effects. Would it be add to 1 Spell Stutter? Do you mean Pester Mite? I think that playing around surgical effects in this deck is like not something I care about almost at all. You have like a really good plan B beat down with like just construct tokens with Urza and Urza Saga. I think that like making these kind of I think I can't cast a Recruiter till I draw another land or something like that. Maybe good to get the Power Conduit down just for like if we do draw Aether Vial or Cornucopia. Having this in play is going to be a really big game. There's also a good chance that we're popping the Relic this turn, and so our mana gets a bit more free. Yeah, I think like making main deck decisions because like your opponent might surgical your monitors or Kikis is just like they could just still surgical your Kikis too. Maybe I'm just not that into it. So they get another Imp in their hand, and I did forget to Relic them. Not that it matters. Yeah, so don't need to do anything. Deck tech for Anderson or just a 5-pack? Either way, thank you. If you have deck tech, you can post it in the chat. Yeah, and that wasn't the reason that like old twin decks again played. That wasn't the reason old twin decks played a split of Pester Mite, Deceiver, Exarch. It wasn't because of surgical effects. It's because of just like density of combo pieces. Over game. General Hero, cool. We did a deck tech for this the other day. This is an interesting version. King Darien, wow. I had a limited deck with King Darien one time. That was pretty good. Alright, still haven't drawn the land or the vial or the cornucopia. Although we did keep a 1-lander, so what are you gonna do? I guess we'll just get the other Golgari Thug answered. This Snark Amiibo is really dealing a lot of damage. I think that's okay. Gabriel, thank you for Twitch Prime. Hope you're doing well today. Okay, General Ferris Rockrick is better than Hero Precinct 1. I know that 1 is okay. Could be a good time. Yeah, I need to pop now. They're getting back 2 amalgams. gonna flashback the other world to gaze in response. That's fine. Okay. Drew another corridor monitor. You should play the fourth Rockrick before like almost any other card, I imagine, especially when you're playing Can't Stay Away. Other creatures get +1/+1. Sacrifice it, tokens in hexproof, gain indestructible. Look, I think this card's pretty weak. I would probably play 1 at the most. Almost definitely just play 0 copies though. Yeah, I just blocked this and then they have to put the Thug on top of their library, which is good for me, right? Yeah, I think that was maybe a punt on their part. Oh, dude, they were sandbagging Cathartic Reunion? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I would play 4 Rin and 6. I also think that you probably need to be playing Chalice of the Void in this version with no 1-drops. Okay, so they're getting back 2 Amalgams end of turn. Been a weird game. Another day, another round 1 dredge opponent. Good chance we die this next turn. I'm going to grab a Kiki-Jiki, I guess, and hope to find another land. There's a chance I could draw a... So if I draw an Aether Vial, I can get 1, 2, 3, 4 counters on it, which is not quite enough. Remaster, 3 months, thank you. Play it out. I guess I actually have the Power Conduit up, so I'm not F6ing. Yeah, it's like these versions of Rockrick with no 1-mana spells. I think you were like really forced to play. I think you're really forced to play Chalice of the Void. So maybe you're cutting all the King Darians. I might cut... You could play like 1 Can't Stay Away. I think the card's kind of like not where you need to be. Vindicate's also okay. It's kind of medium. You might want to have them more in the sideboard for big mana matchups. So like main deck... So like... No King Darians, 4th Rockrick, no Can't Stay Away, 4 Chalice of the Void. Or 1 Can't Stay Away, 1 Vindicate, 4 Chalice. Something like that. Something like that. You probably need the 4th Ren. I'm also kind of worried about the lack of card draw in this deck in general. Yeah, I block like this so I don't die to 2 Creeping Chills. Yeah, I don't think Hero Precinct 1 is great. I don't want to say it's unplayable though. Okay, we can draw land, Cornucopia, Everflowing Chalice. I don't think we have enough for Aether Vial to get Kiki-Jiki quite this turn. Opponent also only has 13 cards in their library, so they do have to be, like, somewhat cautious with how they're dredging. Depends on how they sideboarded. Yes, yeah, so maybe you have, like, the full 4 Vindicate post-board for big mana matchups. I'm not a huge Leyline of Sanctity fan at the moment, but it's, you know... I do like having access to these kind of effects in your deck that just like has no turn 1 plays. Yeah, in general, I think you could play test Hero Precinct 1, which is why I'm not like at the moment recommending cutting it, but also in general, it's not a card that I'm a big fan of. Maybe weak to Scam and Burn. Yeah, Leyline of Sanctity is like okay against Scam, but I would play the 4th Sanctifier before I played the first Leyline of the Void if I was just thinking about beating Scam. Okay, 1 Creeping Chill. If they have the other Creeping Chills, yeah, they just get us. Alright, long 35-minute match against Dredge, where weirdly enough we won game 1, and then we boarded in like 3 Graveyard Hate spells and still lost both sideboard games. Weird game. We know both of our keeps were like kind of medium, but we had a relic. Slow hand. I do think that these hands are somewhat keepable. I typically, with this hand, want to go just Saga turn 1, then Spellskite turn 2, then we can get Vial, play a 3-drop. Go like Recruiter for Coretapper. I think on the play we can keep this. Solemn, 15 months, thank you. So just let us wait till instep to pop the Relic on the turn you did. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like, I mostly just did what I did because I really didn't think that they had a Cathartic Reunion in their hand that they were sandbagging. I was obviously wrong about that. But, I thought I was priced into popping the Relic to turn anyways. I didn't think they had the Cathartic Reunion, so I didn't play around it. But I was, wrong. Scalding Tarn, Katria Triumph. If this is... Okay, it's not Creativity if they're playing Forest. I guess sometimes they play Forest. But Spellskite is very good against Creativity if that is what we're up against. What, do they have Beseiju? I think they have Beseiju. Fire Ice, maybe? It could be Rhinos. Okay, we drew Aether Vial for turn, which is interesting. So I could get Surge Node. Could just have 2 Vials also. How are the no-hits coming? Not very well at the moment. My thoughts on the Spellskite Skrelv combo? What is the Spellskite Skrelv combo? What's my main goal in deck building? Interesting decks for stream, win rate, exploring to try to find the next big deck. I don't think any one of those things 100%. Definitely a combination of all of them. So I can go for the win next turn with 2 Spellskites in play. Seems pretty good. Beating a Violent Outburst. What am I losing to even? So what I can do is I get to go end of turn, Violent Recruiter, take a Vial to 4, put a charge counter on the Vial with Surge Node, Violent Kiki-Jiki, copy Recruiter, get Corridor Monitor, cast Corridor Monitor, win. And I'm taking 8, which is enough. I still don't understand what that combo is supposed to do here. Literally win the game, you'll see. Literally win the game. Okay, can take out one of my Spellskites. I guess if they have double Fury plus spot removal spell, we lose, which would suck. Oh, give her Spellskite. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand either. I think people are I think you're calling it a combo, but it's just like they like protect your creatures well together. Okay, gonna be very hard for them to stop me here. Is Fire Ice still a thing? Spellskite stops my opponent from stopping me with Fire Ice. Resolves. Yeah, this is infinite hasty 1/4s. They threw? How did they throw? Fire Ice doesn't stop me here. I don't have 2 toughness creatures. Oh, they did throw. They could have done fire to 1 to the recruiter that I target. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Fire Ice did stop me here. They did throw. They did throw. My opponent in chat says the ultimate combo. Lol. Okay. Up a game. Very nice. We've won both of our game 1 so far. So we're bringing Soulless Jailer, which does stop Cascade. I think we'll bring in the Welding Jar because they're going to have Force of Vigor. Shadow Spear is kind of interesting too. I'm kind of interested in it. Kind of interested in it. Don't want to over sideboard. Kind of want to trim Spellskite because it is really bad against Force. Just trim 1, probably. Trim a Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah, so what they should have done is they should have done Fire, 1 damage on Spellskite, 1 damage on the Recruiter when I targeted it with Kiki. And then I can't Spellskite to stop that. I think I want the Shadow Spear. I'm going to lock in wanting Shadow Spear. I guess I could trim probably just a second Seasoned Pyromancer too. What's the 1 Mimic for? I think it's like, in general, like a land that you're kind of happy to draw in this deck, if that makes sense. Like, on a very surface level, you're just kind of happy to draw it. Because it's something that you can... It's a land that you can Aether Vial into play. In theory, you can Recruiter for it. I think you'll almost never take that line, but I'm interested in playing the first copy of it. It's not too much deeper than that. Okay, let's just get, like, destroyed by Force if they have it. Get that out of the way. Fire Ice on the Saga? That'd be pretty good here, actually. Is it possible a single Exarch is worth it? I thought about it. I think Quarter Monitor is so awesome in this deck. It just, like, has so many synergies and it's 2 mana instead of 3. That I think Coretapper is awesome. Quarter Monitor is awesome enough that I don't want to play Deceiver Exarch, which is, in my mind, less cool. Very timely Fire Ice, of course. Next turn is interesting. Probably getting Key with my Saga, we'll see. I didn't know Coffee. Their DMs are closed and they never reached out. But, you know, they might at some point. Okay, gonna get the Key, I think. Let me just double check. Could get Shadow Spear this turn. Could get Welding Jar. Let's see, what is the rest of my turn like? Cornucopia on 0. Floating mana, Surge Node. On the Cornucopia. Play Ice Bridge. Tap Ice Bridge and Cornucopia for Power Conduit. Power Conduit counter on the Cornucopia. Vial and Corridor Monitor, untap Cornucopia, make a Saga token. And then if I have... So this is really bad against... Getting Welding Jar is bad against Force of Negation, for sure. But I don't really need the Key. I'm going to get the Welding Jar. Maybe they'll force the Cornucopia if they have Force of Negation also. This is the card we want to stick. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna go again. Counter here, Violent Quarter Monitor to untap this so we can make a Saga token. I don't really see any reason to do that right now, so let's go ahead and pass. And they don't do anything on their turn 3. They play a second Gemstone Caverns, which is probably not something they intended to do. untap. What is their hand? Probably pretty bad. Whatever it is. Yeah, let's go up with the Aether Vial. Alright, that's fine. Just an Ice Bridge for turn. Seem like I'm just content to make a Saga token, equip Shadow Spear, cast Vial. And if they just want to keep bouncing the constructs, if that's their whole turn, then I just get a construct every single turn with the Power Conduit Saga interaction. Surely they're not just gonna cast Shardless Agent, right? Tapped Katria Triumph. What in the world is happening? This is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna take up. Let's leave this one on 3. Take the other one up. Oh boy, should be able to win here. Okay, so let me go Vial in, Recruiter, grab Kiki. And then I'm going to now go ahead and Power Conduit, counter on this Aether Vial. Oh no, okay, hold on, sorry. I forgot to take the counter off the Urza Saga. Oops. So I guess I lose my Saga plan. That's, I guess, okay. Yeah, that's a good. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get Key. I'm gonna get Key. My opponent's saying GG's. I can still make a Saga token here, though. Still make a Saga token. Get a Key, untap the Aether Vial, Surge Node counter on the Aether Vial, Vial and Kiki-Jiki. Can I cast the Kiki? Yeah, I can also do this. I don't know how much it matters. Maybe just playing the cast it's better. I was thinking that the extra mana so I could make the Saga token was cool. We could keep this hand if we had one more land. Probably get a mulligan this one. Up against the Giganta deck. Gonna keep this. Put back the Corridor Monitor so I can just have a turn 3 Urza. We'll not accept the Dredge Slander. It's not slander, it's just that losses to Dredge don't count because Dredge is bullshit. Is that slander? Nah, it's just bullshit. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I was really close. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like maybe the 8 Blast stack. Definitely a matchup I would have preferred to be on the play for. Is theirs in the deck just for value? Yeah. It's also like a good mana sink for Cornucopia. It's a good way to overpower interaction. Just also like a really good card in this deck that can like put Aether Vial up to 4 really quickly. Am I hyped for Jund Saga to be a fun new deck? I think Jund Saga has been like super playable for a really long time. I'm excited that people are playing it some more, sure. Matthew with the 14 months, if you're doing well. There's also been like several times over the course of like Modern Horizons 2 where we've had like where we played Jund Saga and we've gone like 13-2, 12-3, like in post Luris, we've done that like 2 or 3 times. And like and like of course it's like winning tournaments right now. But it's just funny to think of Jund Saga as like a new deck. I know that it's been like out of favor for a while, but it's also a deck that has been. Dude, this is the second time this has happened already today. It'd have been so nice to have been an extra counter. We could have actually had a turn 2 Urza. It's I just not a new deck. That's all I'm saying. It's been, I do like Jund Saga. I think Jund Saga is really good. I'm actually thinking about playing it at the Hunter Burton, because because I'm loaning out my sacrifice deck to a friend who's flying in, and I don't really want to try to borrow the deck again. I might play Jund Saga. It's also a good deck. There was another thing I was also this morning I was like locked in on something too. Oh, I was thinking I also might just play like food, like Time Civ food or green red food. I think Jund Saga is better with DRC. I think it's a conversation. I'm actually like a really big believer of Soul of Windgrace in the deck as like the best grindy card. And so I really kind of like the Japanese formula of like not playing any of the 3-drops. I do agree that the 3-drops are like all kind of medium. Tracker, Fable, Kologun's Command. They're all fine, but they're all kind of medium, and so I'm thinking about just like even skipping the 3-drop portion of the curve altogether, to be honest. Would rather activate Saga on 3 mana. Yeah, you don't always have Saga. But also, yeah, Soul is really good with Saga. Soul is like really good flood insurance. I don't know. So I'll think about it some more. Yeah, let's say we're up against the, we're up against the Cold Doth Rebirth deck. I've already tried viewing with Vat of Rebirth and Trash for Treasure, also Anvil. Vat of Rebirth is not close to modern playable. It's a 4-mana reanimation spell that requires like 4 things to die first in a format where you have access to 2-mana reanimation spells. Yeah, Fable's pretty good. Fable's pretty good with Ren. You can play both. What state is the sack deck in? I'm still on White Splash for pending, then Scam Shell main deck. Still Scam Shell main deck. We actually played it in the challenge this last weekend. We dropped at 5-2. We started 0-1, won 5 matches, then we lost to Sauce, who's on Jund. I'm no longer on the White Splash. I'm playing Path of Peril as like my Sanctifier answer, which I think is a pretty good Sanctifier answer. They've got 1 card in their hand. And they got a lot of creatures in play, huh? Probably should have tapped a little differently. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna play Spellskite. Don't see a lot of reason not to. Both of these just block once. If I try to, yeah, sorry, I answered that. Okay. Falling behind. Looking forward to sideboard games with Shadow Spear. Dude, this deck is so sick. We're super dead. Let's see. Yeah, that actually, these Gleeful Demolitions in the main deck are gonna be really dicey. So Soulless Jailer, this stops Synthesizer. It's also an 0-4. It's probably not nearly enough. I think I'm down to trim a Kiki. Spiral's actually pretty good. Just getting a lot the tokens in play. Could cut the Glasspool Mimic, could cut the 4th Urza. Let's cut the 4th Urza. Yeah, it seems like opponent might be playing the budget version I was playing, not sure. They're playing the Mid-Mites. Plundering Barbarian, yeah, we got Plundering Barbarian. Oh, you want to bring it in? They're not playing Saga or anything. Yeah, targeted like artifact removal is not good against their deck. We're gonna watch the Lord of the Rings reveals. Are they happening right now? We're not gonna like co-stream the thing. It's always so boring to co-stream, but we could like pop in and like react to the cards as they get spoiled. Remember I said Path of Peril for the sideboard, you told me I was stupid Sag. I kind of doubt that happened, but... I definitely didn't say that you were stupid. Alright, sick hand. Am I excited for the Elder Ring DLC? Of course. Of course. I said no. Yeah, I believe that happened. I've also been playing the card in decks for a long time now. I don't know when that would have been, but I do believe that said no at one point. Okay, turn 1 rebirth. So we're gonna go Cornucopia, Coretapper, Spellskite. Have I played the Gleeful Demolition Hellraiser? Yeah, we trophied with it. Awesome Friday, very cool. Did I have an input on the creation of the cards revealed? So the One Ring was different when I saw it. I'm really excited about where it ended up, though. But it was really different when I saw it. Gandalf is like really similar. I think one of the abilities was a little different. I looked back at my notes for my consulting yesterday, and I don't think I had strong notes on Gandalf, like it mostly being like a card designed for EDH and maybe standard. Yeah, I was gonna do a YouTube video about the changes because I don't write articles anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna do a YouTube video about it. I don't think it's gonna be as interesting as Sam's article, probably, because for the most part, like, I think the set was in a good place when I saw it. I think that I was able to make a somewhat positive impact on it. I did have a lot to say. Like, I have a lot to say about fucking everything, but I did like it. Oh yeah, that's right, not standard, but like Pioneer, same thing, right? Well, it's intended for lower power level, EDH, that kind of stuff. Is it not legal in Pioneer? I can't remember, actually. I was asked to talk about it in Modern, but you're right, it's not legal in Pioneer either, right? I guess just EDH then. Yeah. Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Commander. Yeah, and of course, like, we're living in an EDH player's world, y'all. This is, you have to just keep in mind that, like, so many cards in standard sets, in these kind of sets, they're just printed with the intention of them being good in Commander, which is okay, of course. All right, should have an easy win here. Do you think the One Ring is playable in blue-white control? It's kind of an interesting conversation. So one thing that's interesting about the One Ring in blue-white is how fucking awesome the card is. But I tend to also not like card draw spells in control decks that lose you life. But it's a conversation. It also doesn't get unholy heated. We ever get a Direct to Pioneer set. So I think one interesting thing about a Direct to Pioneer set potentially would be a set that's only standard reprints. Reprints from like older standard sets. But I don't know. I'm kind of done trying to like think about like what Pioneer should be. But that's something I like believed at one point. That might be a nice thing. Yeah, like Snapcaster, Huntmaster, Lingering Souls, was kind of like some cards I had thought of. Did I play Twin back in the day? Well, I got to play Twin for one FNM before it got banned. Goblin Bombardment and Pioneer? Dude, that would be so broken. Bombardment would be so broken in Pioneer. I think one interesting thing too about the One Ring is there's a lot of like exile based removal that they've printed recently for like Haywire Mite exiles, Leyline Binding exiles. That definitely feels like the safety valves are in place for the card too. But also the card is like always, drawing card. Have I considered red green food for Hunter Burden? I actually woke up this morning thinking that I was just gonna play a food variant because a friend of mine is borrowing my sack deck. So it's like the sack deck has my Ragavans and my Griefs and my Furies, and then I'm loaning out Anviltron, and I'm either loaning out the whole Prowess deck or just like a bunch of the Prowess, or some of the Prowess deck to a friend of mine who's playing Prowess. So I think that just kind of leaves me with a food deck. But I'm not sure if I would play red-green food or the like time sieve deck, and I don't think I'm likely to like play test a bunch on stream of either of those, since I've played so much of them in the past. But I'll think about it. Okay, so I love that we have Gemstone Caverns on the draw this time. What am I putting back? Recruiter or Spyro? I think I'm putting back Recruiter. It's kind of close. It's just doing wizard food, and that deck was pretty sick, huh? That's too bad. Prowess would be a good deck for me to bring. Yeah, Prowess is really good. I also think the food decks are really good too. I don't know. Like I always like to treat the Hunter Burn a bit differently too. I never really like to just like, I don't know. I guess I did play Grixis Shadow the year I top 8'd, huh? Play some Jund Saga. Yeah, I could play Jund Saga. I don't think. Yeah, I'm not loaning out my Rens. I am loaning out my Ragavans though, but I could get Ragavans. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I want to play Jund Saga necessarily. It wouldn't be that bad. But I think I don't know. You just kind of have to balance like the fun and the competitiveness. I think for the Hunter Burton. We'll see. 8 key. I'm loaning out Anviltron. So like 8 key would definitely be like a deck I'd consider for these purposes, but I'm loaning out the hopefully they target the Power Conduit if this is like Gleeful Demolition. Hopefully it's not Shattering Spree. Pithing Needle. Pretty freaking good. I can get like really any cards from friends. Yeah, I'm loaning out Anviltron, so I'm missing too many pieces to play 8 key, I think. All my Karns and my Karn board and my Mystic Forges. Yeah, the tournament is this weekend. I think I'm taking this Friday off also to play a like a sealed PTQ at the venue. What else been playing pretty slow, huh? What's my construct token of choice? I have like metal constructs that were given to me by my friend Chris. Shout out to Chris. They're like really cool. He's given me like a lot of tokens, and I've never, never been without tokens. Let's talk about the One Ring in decks like that. I think the One Ring is gonna be crazy in 8 key. I think it might be better than Karn, but like everything about it is just kind of perfect. The fact that it's resilient to Force of Vigor, which is one of like your biggest issues. It draws and like untapping the. Sorry, this is that was an experimental version. Untapping the One Ring with a key effect, a key just to like draw like tap draw a card, untap draw 2 cards, untap draw 3 cards is ridiculous. And then like the protection from everything in a combo deck like this buying you a turn is also really silly. So I think what you might do like 4 Mystic Forge in the main, 3 One Rings, and then like you also get to have like a real sideboard at that point potentially. Not that your sideboards in this deck are like that impactful either, I guess. Shows 23 Trails. I played like 2 or 3 matches of it. It was like a for fun deck, I suppose. What am I opponent keep? You need Karn decks to beat opposing Karns. The tech for beating Karns is just racing it. You also have like Urza Saga and stuff. There's also like no tech. Like it's just like there's like nothing you can do to some extent, except for accept your death. I could pull up the 2023 Cheerios though. This was like I can't remember what day it was. This is one of these like get it out of your system decks. But we're really you're I was choosing to be on the draw and then being all in on turn 1 Shram or Paladin. And then we have Leave to Chance plus Mox Amber instead of Mox Opal plus Repeal, which is worse. It was fun. Why no Power Conduit with the Lore Counter? There's a Pithing Needle on Power Conduit is the #1 reason. I know this game is going really slow and it's hard to follow. Okay, Goblin Grenade a token instead of the Urza. They only have 2 cards in their hand. So we can go blue, tap this for red, Corridor Monitor, untap the Cornucopia. Card filter. This does everything. Should play this to grow the construct, I guess. My friend Jalen made the sub jingle and the sub opening songs. He's got a composition degree. Paid him, of course. I paid him for another song a year ago that he's been working on for a while. I told him no rush, of course. Isn't Fable better than Spyro? This is an Aether Vial deck. This is an Aether Vial deck. You can't Aether Vial in Fable. And yeah, also Recruiter, but it's an Aether Vial deck. What can I say? You can also copy Seasoned Pyromancer with Kiki. Okay, 2 and 1. Actually, we're really 2-0 because again, losses to Dredge just don't count. You don't get attached to cards when I play decks. Like this cool Corridor Monitor, of course, I love Corridor Monitor, but I'm attached to all of my children. I can keep this. We're gonna play Saga turn 1. This is definitely this is usually a Saga turn 1 kind of deck. He recorded, hey, it's me, your friend Aspiring Spike. I did, I think. I mean, this was this clip is so old. It's so old, it's not even loading.
What's up? It's me, your friend Aspiring Spike. Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon. Today we're playing Madcap Judd. Whoa! Is Madcap Experiment broken in modern? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Let's find out today on the Shark Typhoon. What's up? It's me, your friend.
So iconic. Oh, brutal Tidal Shaper. Kind of an interesting spot, though. I was really hoping to get my Surge Node, put a counter on the Conduit, get to Violent Recruiter. Have some good draws here, like Power Conduit. Power Conduit's a really big game. So I can go Vial and Corridor Monitor, untap, Aether Vial, then counter on Aether Vial with Power Conduit, Vial in, Recruiter, win next turn. Okay, yeah, let's go for that. And there's nothing they can have, right? Solitude? Amen, brother. I can even Violent Monitor again and do the combo again if they somehow had something. Yeah, this deck's pretty sick. I've been working on it for a while. It took a long time to cook. Wasn't sure it would make it to the stream. My opponent says, ask chat if they want me to concede. I said that y'all do. Awesome. Probably don't want to needle Aether Vial. Could bring in like Haywire Mite for opposing Pithing Needle. Eh. Maybe just like in a Shadow Spirit out of Spellskite. Needle from Mutavault Hexcatcher. I'm not into it. Hexcatcher's not that good against us. Maybe it is. Kind of slow. How much of a drawback is the Monitoring Artifact? It's a bonus in your Urza Saga deck. I think actively good for you here. Alright, just run it. I don't think go to Aether Spellbomb against Merfolk. Violet and Emrakul, that'd be pretty sick. How does this deck compare to 12 key? It's interesting. So, like the presence of cards like Recruiter, Urza, Spyro, let you play like to the board, and they let you play like a longer grindy game if you want to, and you also have like a similar like a combo speed. Of course, you're like way more vulnerable to, I think, creature removal, of course. I think maybe more vulnerable to interaction in general. It is an interesting comparison, I agree. Let's keep this, of course. I think I'm putting back Seasoned Pyromancer. Images for creativity, so you can like Recruiter for image and then copy their creature. Obviously, best case scenario is me drawing a land next turn, but if I miss a land, I still have the ability to let Vial do the work for me. Do I have any use for Saheeli, Sublime Artificer? Has not at the moment, I guess. I did consider Gardens. I was okay. Maybe I should have put back Urza if the top two cards of my library were Urza. I did consider it though. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're drawing a land. Yeah. So Gardens does filter for mana, which is interesting. Now you also want to play. Well, they're probably gonna sack this and counter. That's okay though. You want to play lands that have counters on them to peel off with Power Conduit. It's interesting. But it's important to keep in mind, as always, this is in my mind still a pretty early draft, and can build this deck in a few different ways. 431, thank you for the 8 months. Hope you're doing well. So I'm not going to be able to block. Is it not worth trying to get Urza out that turn? Maybe it was better. I kind of like keeping the Coretapper in play though, because I get to go just like, if they don't have Dismember, I just get to go like untap, take up Vial, tap the Coretapper. And then we could just like try to flood the board with constructs this turn. We could do something like, I'm actually actively hoping they Dismember. Perfect. That's so good for me. I'm really hyped about this deck. There was a lot of work that went into this. I think it was like 2 Sundays ago. I burned like probably like six entries, just like scrapping ideas, making small changes, getting this ready. Wait, they're killing a construct, sure. Couldn't you have corridor too? I'm intentionally holding the corridor instead of just deploying my creatures as soon as I can. Okay, and then do I want to... I guess we just play the next corridor monitor And give ourselves the ability to Vial and another Urza if we want to. Which you probably will have to race the Island Walk, right? Put their Vial to 4. I feel like we need the artifact to play for the constructs. Kodiak, give him 2 months if you're doing well. Could be dead. They didn't Vial this in, which is bad. So 2 6/6 tokens. I'm gonna leave this at 4. I can get it up to 5 if I draw Kiki. I mean, I guess I only have 1 more Urza in the deck. We have to get up to 5. Kind of like 2 Spire Bluff, 2 Islands, and Steam Vents. I think Steam Vents are really important for Beseiju, but you're free to build the deck however you like. They probably have Trickster. They don't have Trickster because I can't be Trickster. Pretty sick. This is a win. Fuck. Their draw was so good. Alright, game 3. Okay, doing the play though. Good game. So hard to mulligan Power Conduit Urza Saga in these kind of matchups. It's a big problem I don't have like Cornucopia. I mean, I just have the Vial though. I'm going to keep. The second Gemstone Caverns obviously stinks as well. But this is just so strong on the play in this matchup. I'm going to keep. I guess it's also really bad against their Merfolk that kills Saga. I've already kept, I guess. How's your aggro matchup? It's okay. Kind of depends on, you know, exactly what you mean. What deck is the aggro deck, right? Yeah, if they kill my Saga, we're pretty screwed if we don't draw Cornucopia or Vial. Let's go. Okay, so we go grab an Aether Vial. And then we just play Saga, play Coretapper. I think we could probably win next turn, right? Or try to win next turn. Can you put a luck counter on your camera or something? No. You can take the luck counter off with the conduit though. Seems like they've had a draw doesn't line up quite as well as it did last time. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we can win this turn. We go tick up here, Power Conduit, remove counter from Urza Saga, put a charge counter on Aether Vial. Go ahead and get Voltaic. Oh wait, am I choked on blue mana? Manifold Key, rather. Yeah, I don't have any blue mana. Because I was planning on going tap Corridor or tap Coretapper, put a counter on Aether Vial, Violin Imperial Recruiter, get Corridor Monitor, untap the Aether Vial with the key, then Violin Kiki-Jiki. Which I can still do, but then I don't have any blue mana. So if I get Aether Vial instead, I can go... Oh, such a hard turn. There's also a chance that I'm supposed to like Vial and Urza in this line. Okay. Tap here, Recruiter. If I get Vial, I can go Recruiter for Coretapper. No, this doesn't work. Put a 4 Vial Urza. I mean, I'm just trying to see if I could win next turn. I know I could win next turn. I think there's a chance I can still win this turn, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I can go get Aether Vial, Coretapper, take Aether Vial up to 3. Violin, Aether Vial on 3, get Corridor Monitor. Sack Coretapper on the new Aether Vial, 2 counters. Use Corridor Monitor to untap Aether Vial, but it still only has 3 counters. Manifold Key, Coretapper, second on the stack, sack Coretapper. Untap Conduit, put counter Vial to 4. Yeah, I do think we just have to Urza this turn. Hard turn for sure. Urza make some tokens. Argument for Drum. I mean, Drum doesn't let me win that turn. You could play Drum, though. We have no islands in play at the moment, either. But now no Red Recruiter. I can peel the counter off. Yeah, I can just peel a counter off the Aether Vial with Power Conduit, though. Or I can get a new Vial and put that to 3. Either should be fine. Guess if they have Trickster, I mean, it just doesn't matter that much if they kill this construct. Does Flame of the Cald? Yeah, all Sagas work with Power Conduit, yeah. Yeah, we'll just get a new Aether Vial. So take this one up to 5. Oh, but then we don't have... Oh, we have blue. We have blue mana with that because of the Urza. Hard to imagine I'm not saving a Saga here. I don't actually want to put a charge counter on anything in specific, though. So we'll go +1 counter here. Oh, no, wait, no, says chat, no, this is fine. We can win. We can also attack with a big Shadow Spear if this isn't enough. Let 1 Saga resolve, get Vial to move counter 2. Okay, this is fine, don't worry, I got it. Think we're gonna wait, this is fine. This is totally fine, y'all. Think we're gonna Conduit a new Vial down from 3 to 2. I don't think so. I think this line's pretty good. I know this deck's really confusing. I think we did good here. They have a Dismember. We get to Shadow Spear and attack for a lot. What is this? Add up, draw a card. Okay, let's respond to the card draw. They do have Dismember. Nothing to do. Right now, at least. No, I don't think we're supposed to spin Urza looking for a Spellskite. We're supposed to, just equip a Shadow Spear. Oh, whoops, sorry, this was targeting the same thing. Damn it, sorry. So now I'm down to mana. Do I care about unblockable? I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make a couple constructs. Get this as big as possible. I could also play another Power Conduit. Maybe the blockers are better than one more lifelinking. Wasn't spinning free? It wasn't free. I want to do this instead. I have maybe in my entire career never seen chat as confused as they are right now. Especially on a turn where I feel like I played it correctly. I know there's a million options, so maybe I didn't play it correctly, but I've literally never. I think Drum lets you win, leave Vial, 2 cast Recruiter, get Monitor. Okay, I can't go back to what about Drum. We'll think about Drum more later. There's too much has happened since then. Is it possible to put a charge count on Vial to screw the play? Well, then Vialing an Adept just doesn't do anything. I know it's a really confusing board state, but again, I have never seen chat so confused. It is, and you know, understandably so. I also found that this turn to be a really good one. I think I played it pretty well, all things considered. Saying I know it's confusing is slightly patronizing. Well, I love you, man. Just saying. I am so sick of comments that like nitpick my tone like this. Just saying. I don't know. I immediately gonna get stun locked. I don't know if you're bantering because someone said something very similar to that the other day, but I don't need to be tone policed. I didn't intend to be patronizing. I have a hard time even like imagining how you could construe that as patronizing on one of the most convoluted board states ever. One time the other day, someone suggested suggested doing a combo that didn't work. I said no, you don't know how the combo works, and someone yelled at me for that. So maybe that's what you're doing here. Like, is this not the most confusing board state you've ever seen in your entire life? I'm just saying I've never seen chat so confused. I don't know. It's like when you're on the internet, people just rip apart everything you say, and it's just so annoying. Alright, 4-1 prediction going. Could have just been referencing the fact that people say stuff like that too. That's what's tough about like the inside jokes like that. I could never tell anymore. This hand is really sick. The Aether Vial draw is obviously awesome. Maybe a little slow on the draw against Hammer though. We'll see. We could take emote only mode off. I'm almost like never in favor of emote only mode, to be honest. But maybe I was. Maybe mods know better. Maybe I was getting that stun locked. So next turn we can go play second Saga, Power Conduit, take the counter off the second Saga, counter on the Aether Vial, Violin, Coretapper, untap Vial. Could also save the Coretapper. Yeah, maybe I was getting super stun locked. Hard for me to tell sometimes. Yeah, it could be a good reset. I think sometimes mods can they can make the right decision there without me realizing it's the right decision. Okay, this is gonna be a hard game. They did a good hammer, right? Yeah. So I think I have to chump so I can like not lose to them having a second hammer. I do think I'm going to Violent Corridor Monitor, untap the Aether Vial. And I think game 1 I'm just going to chump block with Spellskite. Interesting that they would just cast this now. I'm not sure if they're playing around something specific. Yeah, the Spellskite just shouldn't do almost anything game 1. I guess it could prevent Blacksmith skill, which isn't, in my mind, particularly relevant. So I think I'm going to Vial in the Coretapper in my upkeep, then take up the Aether Vial, and then depending on what I draw, I'll choose on like where to put the counter with the Power Conduit. But I can untap the Aether Vial with the key here. Okay, this is a really interesting draw. So I don't want to lose my Saga, but I also don't want to put a counter on the Aether Vial, so I guess I'm going to just put like a +1 counter on Corridor Monitor. Then we get the Manifold Key, play Saga. I could play a second Coretapper as a chump blocker in addition to vialing in the Seasoned Pyromancer, which seems fine. Remember, they can't give pro colorless, so colorless chump blockers are worth a lot here. Okay, very likely gonna upkeep this Seasoned Pyromancer. Let's just pass for now. Main deck Haywire Mite. Holy shit, no! Fuck. So they're targeting my Power Conduit, so I guess I'm gonna... I have another one, and so it's okay. It's not like I'm low on Sagas either. Okay, I can leave this on 3. So we're gonna have 3 Sagas in play like this. I get another Aether Vial. Could get Everflowing Chalice. Chalice seems pretty good. Actually have something to do with these Coretappers. In fact, I think that I might just like completely cash in. This way I can make 2 Saga tokens and play my Power Conduit. I could vial in the second Aether Vial by Manifold Keying, but I don't think the second one really does anything, because I just have to discard the 2 cards anyways. Okay, so this won't let me win this turn. But I can just go Saga token, untap Aether Vial. We have 4 Astral Cornucopia in the deck. I don't think we've drawn them very often, though. Is there any reason to not take Vial up to Infinity? Yeah, you want to leave these on specific numbers. Yeah, Aether Vial is not number of counters or less. It's equal to the number of counters on Aether Vial, if that's the question. Yeah, you can't get Cornucopia off Saga, but you can get Everflowing Chalice, which is why we're playing it. My opponent says, "What is this madness?" Yeah, this deck's pretty deep. It took a long time to hammer out. I'm pretty excited that it like ended up making the stream after me being unsure if it would. But now we just Kiki-Jiki win. I really think in a big way, Urza was just like the obvious missing piece. I can't believe it took me so long to add it. Because I take both these Power Conduit, counter on Aether Vial. I might as well save my other Saga. Not that it really matters. We're gonna Kiki combo here. How many decks on average do I think not make it to their pristine percentage-wise? Probably like a little bit more than half. It kind of also depends on like what you think of as a deck. You know what I mean? A lot of decks are like just mere thoughts that get vaporized quickly. It just kind of all depends. Like there's a long process, so it's like everything starts with an idea. A lot of ideas get like dismissed immediately because they're just not good enough, and then a lot of ideas end up making it to the deck building portion of my process. And I would say that it's like it's probably a little bit more than half of the decks I start to build don't ever make it to the stream. But also like it, that number is kind of low because if the best ideas start to get deck builded, and then a little bit about half end up making it to the stream, I'd say. It also kind of depends, right? It kind of depends on like this deck too. I've been working on it for a few weeks, and I didn't know that it was gonna make it, so I kind of talked about it last week on stream. But I was at that time I was playing too many Everflowing Chalice. I was playing too many Surge Nodes. I think these are just better off as Saga targets in this build, which really opens you up to play Urza, which is like in a big way the missing piece, because it gives you like a really, really strong plan B, and like Urza's so good when you can vial it into play so quickly, and so a lot of times like it's just kind of like understanding that you're playing too many of a card is what like opens you up to be playing like here, because like I didn't think that there was room to play something like this for a little while. There's just like a lot of ins and outs, a lot of moving pieces. Probably go down to 0 Spellskite. Could play 1. Call it Kiki combo. Oh, I love it. Aether Vial, Key combo. There's only one key. I'm gonna have to message my editor to have that be the title of the YouTube video too, which I don't do very often, but I like that one a lot. Yeah, generally you cast Cornucopia for 0, then put counters on it. Okay, so we have a Gemstone Caverns, but on the mulligan, we may not actually put into play. So if we put in Gemstone Caverns, we can play Coretapper on turn 1, then turn 2, play Aether Vial. I think I'm actually just going to bottom the Caverns on this Mola 5. Kind of weird. Main deck Haywire Mite, and you side out Spellskite? No, I main deck 4 Spellskite, and I have 1 Haywire Mite on the side. There's also, there's a deck list you can check out too, of course. Sorry if that was patronizing. I'm not trying to be patronizing. It's got the voice in my head now. Oh, they had the Mite main deck. Yeah, they had the Mite main deck. They do get a hammer. That's a really interesting draw. The Mimic is mostly just like a utility land. You don't have to play it. I thought the first copy was pretty good. Yeah, Draven, I didn't see your other message. I understand. Like, I did say a few times there's a good chance that that's what you were saying, and I'm sorry if the wires got crossed. Yeah, it's just so hard to interpret sometimes. I'm sorry. It's my fault. Oh, that one hurts. I don't like that. It's okay. I think that probably every single enfranchised member of Aspiring Spikes chat has stun-locked me on accident at least once. I would say on average, if you've been here a long time, like you have, Draven, you've unintentionally stun-locked me like that. At least once. And thank you for the gifted sub. And really, at the end of the day, it's just good content. What can you say? If we can beat that like super timely March, I'm gonna feel pretty good. Hushbringer. Yeah. That one's pretty good against me too. We do have we do have Power Conduit, Saga, and we have we're gonna be able to make a lot of constructs, and we're gonna be able to get our Aether Spellbomb in a second. But this card is also absurdly good against me. Don't see much reason to not multi-kicker X equals 2. We're gonna have to chump block the Germ token. Oh, now we're dead. Okay, game 3. Continue the play for game 3. Their draw definitely lined up pretty well against mine. Oh, we also have the Haywire Mite. Not that that saved me there. Just kind of forgot about it for a second. Naturals, take for 12 months. I'm having a good week. I am having a good week. It's been a weird one though. My brain is like right now so consumed with the Vinland Saga anime. I was a huge fan of this arc of the manga, and it's like really getting good right now. The anime is, and like last night, like the last 3 episodes have been so good. I guess we keep this. Could you play Aether Vial and Hammer? People have done it in the past. I can't remember who it was. I think it. I don't want to, you know, say who it was if I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think it was. It might have been X-Whale who was like a proponent of that in the past. It might not have been also, but there was definitely someone who was like into that for a while. I've never really seen it. I've never really been a fan, I guess. Necessarily, but it's kind of an interesting thought. Dude, what if they ever did a like Magic the Gathering crossover with Vinland Saga, and then they made a saga called Vinland Saga? Wow. Wouldn't that be just beautiful? Okay, Stoneforge Mystic. Grabbing Cauldron, so I can revoke her Stoneforge Mystic. A good, clean magic. No attacks. I like to see that. Do I also violin this Corridor Monitor? I kind of don't think so. I kind of think I want to be able to violin Corridor Monitor off this file next turn. I guess I should have cast the Revoker, though, to have given myself the option. A little bit of a mistake. Spyro, 8 months ago, thank you. They have March of Otherworldly Light, which they're using on my Revoker. Then they're going to Cauldron me. Probably shouldn't BF6 because they didn't attack into the... Okay, they still not attack with Sentinel. Fair enough. I do think that this Urza is probably really important. I'm not going to discard it, I think, to the Spyro this turn. Although now, thankfully, I don't have to, so I can go... Cast Power Conduit. Take your card, opponent. Violin. Seasoned Pyromancer. Seasoned Pyromancer trigger on the stack. Violin Corridor Monitor. Untap Aether Vial. Put a charge counter on Aether Vial. Probably peeling off this Aether Vial. Putting in Urza. If this was still at 3, I could go cast Corridor Monitor, untap, vial this in. It's not still at 3. Maybe holding another quarter monitor for next turn is better than playing one here. That's probably true. Yeah, that's back. I'm so excited that this deck made the stream. I was like, I really could see the potential in it for a while, but like tuning it was so hard. Fuck. Not dead, I think. Yeah, not dead. We have to chomp. We can win this turn if we can find like Recruiter or Kiki though. So okay, so let's think. Too much thinking in the stack. Oh, I guess I didn't need to do this in the upkeep, sorry. I should just like said no, ticked up and passed. It's okay though. I guess I play this as... I'm gonna let them have the card, I think. I'm gonna play this as a Mox. And then I think we untap the Aether Vial on 3 here. So we did find Recruiter. So we should win. Yeah. What a deck, huh? Found a way to 4-0 this league, because again, losses to Dredge don't count. What a deck. Maybe I'll play this at the Hunter Burton. It would be tough to get it all together. I don't have Urzas. I think I only have 2 Kikis. Would Solitude stop me? Yeah, I've never seen Hammer play Solitude, though. Alright, let's run it back. Ooh, modern staple Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. But Spike could get ephemerate. Oh, I own one of these, the first sliver. I opened it in a Time Spiral Remaster pack. It was like $1 million when I opened it. I don't know if it still is. Dude, 4-0 to league. Never happened before. Usually it's like a 5.